Hey everybody, welcome back to the wood shop. Today we're going to make a really simple project, probably one of the simplest we've ever made. And this one takes very little time, very little money, and you can make a big profit on it if you want to.
That's right. We were walking around a big box craft store just looking for some inspiration. And we saw this section where they had all these wooden trays. Some of them had handles on them. It's actually where we picked up these handles. And we noticed that they didn't really seem very good quality. Sometimes they were on sale. But we thought, we could probably make a similar product of better quality for about the same amount of money, if not less. What we have here is a hickory board. We've had this in the shop for a few years, haven't really had an idea what we wanted to do with it, but we thought that'd be perfect for a serving tray. So we're going to use this and try to make our own version of a serving tray. All right, the first thing we're going to do is cut a piece of this board off. We're not going to run the whole thing through the planer. We're going to cut this down to about 16 inches.
Now the next step is to rip off the rough edges of this board and make it 10 inches wide. Alright, now we got the board planed up good. I didn't actually plane for a specific thickness. I just kept planing till everything was nice and flat. You can see I used the sled there to get everything nice and flat. So the next thing I'm going to do is put a chamfer around the top side of the board. Now the next thing that has to be done before we sand this board is we have to drill 4 screw holes in the bottom of this so we can attach our handles.
All right, we don't have much left to go. Our board is cut to size. Profile. We've got some holes drilled in there for the hardware. Before we finish it, we got to sand it. So I've got some 120 and some 220. Let's get this knocked out. All right, we just have one thing left to do, and that's apply some finish to this tray. Now, if this would have been like a cutting board or a charcuterie board, we would not use Danish oil. We would use like mineral oil. But this is not designed to have food directly on the surface. You might put like a bowl and a coffee cup or a plate and, walk this to somebody. So we're going to actually finish this very simply with some Danish oil. Bring out the beauty of this hickory. I'm excited to see how it turns out.
there it is. Really quick, really simple, really cheap. You can make you a nice serving tray and have it for a lot less than you pay for it in the big store.
That's true. And it's like we said earlier, this is much better quality. We're probably all in less than $10, counting the hardware and everything. I think it's really cute. You could make it a little bit larger if you wanted to. But this would probably hold like a 10-inch plate or a bowl and a cup. Serve somebody breakfast in bed.
And we used hickory. We just had this hickory laying around the shop. We got it a long time ago. We needed something to use it for. Don't matter what kind of wood you want to use. You can use hickory, use oak, use maple, cherry, whatever. And these things will sell for quite a bit of money. You can find some of these online with like the maple and walnut. If you do a panel, go for $95. I mean, easy.
That's true. And if you had like a CNC, you could engrave a nice, maybe monogram it or put a pretty saying on there, give it a nice custom touch. But we wanted to show you just something super easy that you could do. And we used a variety of tools in this project. You really don't have to have everything that we had though.
Right, you could use a circular saw to cut this with. You could use hand sandpaper to sand it, a hand drill to drill the holes for the screws. I mean, all of this can be done with simple tools.
And we think it's very pretty. This would make a nice gift if you want to, give this to somebody, or like you said, if you want something easy to batch out to sell, this would be an ideal beginner project.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and stay up to date on all of our content.
Thanks so much for joining us today. As always, happy woodworking!